Egypt and Jordan advocate for Syria's unity and call for a ceasefire and the delivery of aid in Gaza. Egypt condemns Israel's Golan settlements and urges international rejection of violations. President Sisi reaffirms the strength of the U.S.-Egypt relations during a meeting with media figures. You're watching the latest updates from Egypt on Qnews. Let's move on to the latest developments. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah Sisi and Jordan's King Abdullah II have underscored the importance of preserving Syria's unity and territorial integrity. The two leaders discussed the escalating crisis in Palestine, calling for a Gaza ceasefire and urgent humanitarian aid. They rejected Palestinian displacement and reiterated support for a two-state solution. Talks also addressed the Syrian conflict and Lebanon, with both leaders backing the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701 to ensure regional stability. Egypt has strongly rejected and condemned Israel's decision to expand settlements in the occupied Syrian Golan Heights. Egypt's foreign ministry stated that the country views this decision as a blatant violation of Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Egypt considers these Israeli plans an unlawful imposition of facts on the ground, reflecting Israel's disregard for achieving a just peace in the region and its ongoing expansionist policies. Egypt calls on international bodies and the UN Security Council to reject these violations and put an end to Israeli settlements activities. In discussions with the King of Bahrain on Gaza, President Abdel Fattah Sisi emphasized the need for an immediate ceasefire, a detainee exchange deal, and unrestricted humanitarian aid delivery. That came in a phone call with King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa of Bahrain, where the two leaders discussed regional developments. The two leaders highlighted that calm in Palestine is vital for regional stability. They also addressed Lebanon and Syria, stressing the importance of maintaining their stability and territorial integrity, while warning against conflict escalation. The call also explored strengthening bilateral ties, particularly economic and trade cooperation. President Abdel Fattah Sisi has affirmed that Egypt has already established communication with the incoming U.S. administration, stating that Egypt's views are respected and accepted by Washington. Speaking to Egyptian journalists and media professionals on Sunday, President Sisi emphasized the importance of maintaining and strengthening Egypt's strategic relations with the United States. He also highlighted Egypt's ongoing efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza, facilitate humanitarian aid deliveries to the besieged territory, and address crises in Syria, Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Lebanon, and Yemen. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has highlighted Egypt's vast investment opportunities in the industrial sector during a meeting with Saudi Minister of Industry Bandar bin Ibrahim Al Khurayef. Madbouli emphasized that Egypt's free trade agreements with various countries and regional blocs offer significant advantages for Saudi companies. For his part, the Saudi minister noted that the recently signed agreement between the two nations will play a key role in boosting trade and investment flows. The European Commissioner for the Mediterranean, Dubravka Šuica, has praised Egypt as a cornerstone of stability in the Middle East, citing its constructive role in the region. Šuica made her remarks during a phone call with Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelalti. According to a statement by the Egyptian Foreign Ministry, the two sides discussed ways to bolster relations, particularly in the Mediterranean region. They agreed on the importance of collaborating in overcoming common challenges. Foreign Minister Badr Abdelalti has highlighted Egypt's leadership in advancing civil aviation during a meeting with International Civil Aviation Organization officials in Cairo. The discussions marked the reopening of the organization's renovated Middle East regional office, hosted by Egypt since 1953. The minister emphasized Egypt's strategic position as a link between three continents and its commitment to enhancing aviation safety, sustainability, and infrastructure. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdelalti has chaired a meeting of the Supreme Migration Committee at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, attended by senior officials including Deputy Prime Minister Khaled Abdel Ghaffar and Kamel El Wazir, along with other key ministers. The meeting aimed to develop migration policies and strengthen ties with Egyptians abroad. Abdelalti emphasized Egypt's role in tackling migration challenges, highlighting initiatives like Professional 2030 for skill development and Speak Arabic to preserve national identity. House of Representatives Speaker Hanafi El-Gebali has affirmed that Egypt's position towards Syria during its 13-year crisis was and remains focused on preserving Syria's territorial and national unity. He further stated that Egypt rejects foreign interference in Syria's internal affairs. El-Gebali made these remarks during a speech at the plenary session on the recent developments in Syria, the House of Representatives in Cairo. Walid Gamal-Eddin, chairman of the General Authority of the Suez Canal Economic Zone, has signed contracts for 2 new projects in the promising Qantara West Industrial Zone. The total investments amount to $38 million, focusing on food industries and textiles, covering an area of 137,000 square meters and providing 1,450 job opportunities. Walid Gamal-Eddin added that Al-Qantara West Industrial Zone is an ideal starting point for investors, given its strategic location and proximity to seaports, which provides access to various regional and international markets. He also stressed the economic zone's efforts to develop the infrastructure of the area, making it easier for investors to carry out their business efficiently and effectively. Minister of Health and Population Khaled Abdel Ghaffar has announced that the total number of services provided by the Bidaya initiative since its launch has reached 154,077,255 services. During the past 4 days, the initiative provided 8,591,810 services, with 144,891 beneficiaries benefiting from the initiative's services in the field of women's empowerment and training through 237 services and activities. 60.5 tons of meat were also distributed, reaching 60,532 families. Minister of Health Khaled Abdel Ghaffar has met with Sierra Leone's Ambassador Sadiq Salah to discuss the strengthening bilateral cooperation in the health sector. The meeting focused on improving the export of medicines and vaccines, as well as creating new investment opportunities in healthcare. The two sides agreed to facilitate the exchange of expertise and medical teams, particularly in malaria control. The Executive Director of the Presidential Initiative for Women's Health, Dr. Hatem Amin, has highlighted the national and societal momentum created by the initiative, which has raised awareness of public health and preventive issues. In an interview with Egyptian television, he explained that the initiative provides significant support for women, particularly in early breast cancer detection and awareness. He emphasized that the initiative includes self-examination education and offers annual screenings for those not at high risk. Amin stressed that early breast cancer detection allows for a 100% chance of treatment, enabling women to return to their homes, communities, and work as productive members of the society. Amr Hindi, a member of the Egyptian parliament, has criticized terrorist groups for spreading rumors via social media to destabilize Egypt. He explained that these groups use these false and fabricated news stories to create social and political unrest. Hindi added that the Muslim Brotherhood exploits online platforms and paid media to spread misleading claims, aiming to sow division among citizens. However, he emphasized that the Egyptian state is countering these attempts by responding with facts and figures and educating the citizens about the dangers of falling for such lies. The head of the European Investment Bank's North Africa and Middle East office has highlighted the third phase of the Industrial Pollution Control Program, which helped Egypt reduce pollution and promote sustainable development. The bank provided 300 million euros in loans to invest in environmental technology and improve competitiveness. The third phase, supported by the Federation of Egyptian Industries and the National Bank, had a budget of 145 million euros and backed over 50 projects to reduce industrial pollution. Environment Minister Yasmin Fouad highlighted the 100 million euros allocated to modernize plants and support small and medium-sized projects. Finance Minister Ahmed Kujuk has announced that Egypt's external debt decreased by $3 billion in the current fiscal year as of November. He confirmed that this reduction is a result of the successful financial measures implemented to manage and reduce public debt. The statement came during the plenary session of the Egyptian parliament chaired by Speaker Hanafi Gibeli, where ministers discussed President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's decree regarding agreements for $2 billion in trade facilities obtained by the Ministry of Finance through Emirates NBD, Capital Standards, Charter Bank, and Emirates NBD. Environment Minister Yasmin Fouad has stated that the Industrial Pollution Control Program has been running for 25 years, beginning with the Ministry of Environment to help non-compliant industrial facilities become more environmentally friendly. This coincided with the introduction of the 1994 Environmental Law No. 4. The program initially tackled traditional environmental issues such as air and water pollution and industrial waste. This resulted in 23 industrial facilities benefiting from around 34 sub-projects, totaling 194 million euros in funding. Environment Minister Yasmin Fouad has launched a new phase of the Green Industry Program, noting that the program aims to implement carbon boundary adjustment mechanisms. A significant part of the program will support a roadmap for this mechanism, which is set to be released next month. To continue this journey, Fouad emphasized the need for Egypt's banking sector to align with green finance principles, addressing the risks associated with green projects while expanding the range of projects facing challenges. And that brings us to the end of our news bulletin. Here is what we have been covering. Egypt and Jordan advocate for Syria's unity and call for a ceasefire and the delivery of aid in Gaza. Egypt condemns Israel's Golan settlements and urges international rejection of violations. President Sisi reaffirms the strength of the U.S.-Egypt relations during a meeting with media figures. And that's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Q News for the latest developments. Thank you very much for watching.